Exclusive contract with Feilu Novel Network Novel. Man in Oman. Creating a digital world at the beginning. Qiushan Liao traveled to the world of Ultraman, not only a genius in everyone's eyes, but also secretly bound to the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex system. A royal knight proud of absolute power, reminiscent of the 12 Olympian gods, the 7 demon kings who possess the power of the 7 deadly sins. At this moment, the world of Ultraman is completely boiling and vibrating. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex System. Yes, it's him. He is the greatest genius in the field of the internet of this century. His understanding, use, and creation of the internet are unmatched by all of us. This time he came to our place for vacation. The senior management had the opportunity to invite him to our place. He is too important for the construction of the world's network, and his recently developed Z network has extremely fast network speed. That's why he was invited to our place this time, hoping to help us upgrade the Z network and have the intermediary team captain protect him personally. In a special institutional department, many personnel looked at each other and whispered. While speaking, they occasionally looked at the handsome figure, showing envy and admiration in their eyes. That figure. When he was just emerging and showed his talent, the people around him were jealous. But when he became the first person on the internet and walked around the world under the name of the world's top professor, some countries only respected him, and people only admired him. The construction of global networks relies on him. He is often sought to solve the problems that arise in the construction of networks in various countries. Human progress is inseparable from him. Now this figure is in this special institution, checking the speed of network operation. By the side of this figure, following and protecting this figure is not anyone else, it is Captain Intermediary Hui. Zhu Jian Hui, the captain of the Earth Defense Victory Team, is a beautiful hero admired by many people. She is handsome and gentle, and now her mission is to protect this figure. He is from Qiushan Liao. I didn't expect this to be the Ultraman world. Qiushan Liao's mood is not very good at this moment. In his past life, he was already an internet genius. After entering this world, he was one step ahead of others in creating online chat software such as WeChat, Kakao, Line, etc. By relying on some online means, while becoming a billionaire, he has also become a national scholar that countries all want to recruit. He is an indispensable cornerstone in the era of the internet. His life was originally brilliant. But this time when he came to Sakura country and learned about the existence of the victory team, he felt a bit uneasy. The monster hasn't appeared yet. The existence of the victory team is a secret and a department responsible for investigating special events. So I didn't know much about Qiushan Liao before. His hacking methods have all been used in the country of Starlight. Until this time when he came to Sakura country and learned about the existence of the victory team, he felt his mood plummet from the clouds to the bottom. In his past life, of course, he also enjoyed watching Ultraman, but the problem was that liking to watch didn't mean he was willing to enter such a world. In the Ultraman world, small monsters appear every once in a while. Maybe one day when I sleep, I won't be able to wake up the next day because I was trampled to death by a monster while dreaming. Even in the world of Digia, it's useless if it's him who becomes Digia instead of Dagu. Have you seen that Digia has been beaten several times and is about to die? And if it were the world of Digia, it would be easy to say, but what about the world of Ultraman? Shining Digia, blown into a god by people. But in the entire Ultraman world, among the ranks of legendary Ultraman and legendary level monsters, can they make it into the top 10? Now. Akiyama Liao couldn't help but sigh slightly as he was upgrading the next generation network for the victory team. At this moment. Ding, qualified dormitories detected, system starts binding. What? Autumn Mountain Liao's eyes couldn't help but brighten. He traveled through time and without a system for so many years, relying on his own abilities, he became a global internet tycoon. I didn't expect the system to come at this moment. What system are you? Autumn Mountain Liao asked in his heart. Digital world system, digital world system. Autumn Mountain Liao's eyes couldn't help but squint slightly. 62% of the world's network construction is due to the vast Autumn Mountains. The digital world. Qiushan Liao felt that this system was closely related to him. Meanwhile, in the digital world. Is this referring to the world of digital Tyrannosaurus Rex? Of course, Akiyama Liao knows a lot about digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, and he has also seen it in his past life. Omega Beast, Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex, Red Lotus Night Beast, Fallen Hell Beast, World Tree, Crystal Beast. Of course, in the original Digia, some people once joked that the ancient mythical beasts fought against Digia. Ultraman. The system starts binding, ding, system binding successful. In the next moment, Qiushan Liao realized that as long as he calmed down, he could see the existence of another world, which was the digital world. But at this moment, in the digital world, it is a networked world without any living creatures or terrain. Ding, it requires the host to complete the task. The so-called task is that every monster or even the shock of every creature obtained can be converted into a digital point to build a digital world. Any digital Tyrannosaurus Rex must obey the host's instructions 100%. At the same time, some special monsters will also be killed and transformed into digital data. So, I already have the qualification and potential to reign in the Ultraman world. In the eyes of Autumn Mountain and Liao, a brilliant light flashed through. In the world of Ultraman, those legendary Ultramen and legendary monsters are certainly powerful. But Akiyama Liao does not believe that he, who controls the entire digital world and can command all digital tyrannosaurs, will be inferior to them. In the later stage, can you suddenly rival all Ultraman and digital Tyrannosaurus Rex? Mr. Liao, may I ask what's wrong with you? At this moment, Zhu Jianhui noticed that Qiushan Liao had lost his mind and couldn't help but ask. Chapter 2. Boiling Dagu into Soup. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Boiling Dagu into soup. Qiushan Liao regained his senses and knew that the abnormality in his expression during the conversation with the system earlier had been detected by Zhu Jianhui. Intermediary benefits are not easy. You should know that in the original work of Digia, Zhu Jianhui had already discovered the identity of Dagu. A woman who becomes the captain of the victory team is enough to demonstrate her extraordinary qualities. Captain Intermediary, I heard that you have been troubled by some things lately. Qiushan Liao changed the topic. Yes, it's about a meteorite. Zhu Jianhui nodded and frowned slightly, saying, that's not a natural meteorite, it's a time machine. It prophesied that the world would undergo a great change, and the monsters Gorzon and Melba would appear. The way to save the earth is the giant in the pyramid, but the way to revive the giant is. Now, Intermediary Hui spoke out her troubles. Suddenly, she thought of something and suddenly said, Mr. Liao, I don't know if with your ability, can you decipher the last sentence? What exactly is it? Qiushan Liao also really wants to see that time machine. He nodded. Now. Under the leadership of Intermediary Hui, Qiushan Liao went to the headquarters conference room of the victory team in the organization. When the Autumn Mountains and Liao come into it, Mr. Liao, hello. Qiushan Liao is very young, but due to his achievements, even the leaders of various countries are very polite to him, let alone Yerue. You should know that Qiushan Liao is Yerue's idol, and seeing his own idol gives Yerue an unusual excitement at this moment. Autumn Mountain Liao also nodded friendly to Yerue. He's just like the vast Autumn Mountains. Lena whispered to Dagu in a low voice, although I've heard of him before and seen him online, I didn't expect to be even more handsome than someone online. I heard that the Z.network he built is very fast, with no possibility of delay. He is currently the world's #1 network inventor and builder, and has created many apps that also make a lot of profits. He is so young, but so powerful. I really didn't expect such a person to exist. Dagu nodded and said with emotion, "That's right, people don't judge by their appearance. We shouldn't underestimate them just because they are young. I once went to attend his speech conference, and he has many advanced theories. His understanding of the internet is unmatched by everyone, and he is truly a genius." Horai couldn't help but walk over, admiring him in a low voice. Now, Zhu Jianhui ignored the team members' whispering, and instead asked Qiushan Liao to walk up to the silver instrument on the table. "Mr. Liao, this is a message from a super-ancient era." Yi Rui introduced the silver instrument to Mountain Liao, and then began to quickly tap the keyboard with both hands. Finally, with the silver instrument, beams of light were emitted, followed by 3D figures, appearing in front of everyone. She looked like intermediary Hui, wearing a special silver-white outfit. She opened her mouth and began to say something. Horai also went up to hold an instrument, which is a sound translation machine. "Hello everyone, I am Yu Lian, the leader of the Earth Security Corps. When this time machine arrives on Earth, it actually means that the Earth will undergo tremendous changes. The monster that shakes the Earth, Golzan, and the monster that causes the sky to shatter, Melba, will be resurrected. Only giants can protect the Earth. The giant's massive body is hidden within a massive pyramid. The only way to revive the giant is through." Speaking of the most critical point, it seems like a malfunction has occurred. At this moment, what came to Qiushan Liao's mind was to walk up to Yi Rui's side and start typing the keyboard. "If I don't rely on my past life to watch Ultraman Digia, can it be cracked?" "Of course you can." The next moment, Mountain Liao smiled slightly. Upon seeing the expression on Qiushan Liao's face, Zhu Jihui immediately said, "Mr. Liao, do you already have a solution?" Qiushan Liao glanced at Dagu's direction and then pondered, "There is only one way to revive giants, and that is." For a moment, Zhu Jianhui, Yi Rui, Lina, and others all gazed curiously at Qiushan Liao. Sure enough, Mountain Liao is the most powerful. He has a way to know the most important information. Boil Dagu into soup. Finally, amidst the attention of the victorious team members, Qiushan Liao said this sentence. "Intermediary Hui. Dot. Lina. What? What? Yerui. What? What? Others. Dot." Dagu's face was solemn, and he looked at the Mountains and Liao with suspicion and uncertainty. "Okay for a while. I didn't expect Mr. Liao to also like to tell jokes," said Zhu Jianhui in surprise as she first regained her senses. "Yerui, Lina, and others have also come to their senses." "Yeah, so the rumored genius is like this. This joke is a bit funny. Dot. They treated their words as a joke." Mountain Liao gave a playful smile. At this moment, Zhu Jianhui began giving instructions to the members of the victory team to search for the pyramid. And Qiushan Liao heard the sound of the system. "Ding, official exposure to the plot. Ding, congratulations on obtaining the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, Ultimate Body Beginner Gift Pack. Ding, is it open?" Chapter 3. Ultimate Body. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 4. Dark Combat. Tyrannosaurus Rex and Digia, Seeking Harvest. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 4. Dark Combat. Tyrannosaurus Rex. The radiance covered the ancient world, instantly transforming the entire person into a radiance and flying into the timer of one of the stone statues. Golzan's small mountain-like feet had already been stomped down, and a loud explosion sounded. The airflow and dust swept around like waves. Looking at this scene from afar, Zhongfang, Lina, and others suddenly widened their eyes, tears flowing in their eyes, so sad that they could not speak. In their view, Dagu has already died, and the indispensable genius of this era, Mountain and Liao, has also fallen at the feet of Golzan. At this moment, the crystal-like thing on the forehead of the statue of Digia shone brightly. Just as Gorzon's other foot was preparing to step on the stone statue. Digia's statue unexpectedly moved, with his hands overlapping on his chest to resist Gorzon's kick. Then, Digia's power erupted, and a strong force came from under his feet, directly smashing Gorzon to the ground with a loud bang. Now the statue of Digia has completely revived, with two colors on its body. Red and a blue color close to purple. It looks cool. Brave and vigorous. It's a giant, the giant has revived. Lina immediately shouted as she watched the scene before her. But her voice was filled with sadness, because her idol Akiyama Liao and his beloved Dagu had just disappeared. But how did the giant recover? The new city is really unclear, what is going on? The revival of Digia made Gorzon roar, and at the same time, Melba appeared in the sky as the leader of the ancient monsters. The evil god had not yet fully awakened his power, but Digia appeared in this era, which made the two monsters very angry. Suddenly, both monsters grinned and headed straight towards Digia. You should know that in a 1-on-1 situation, Digia was not afraid at all, but in a 2-against-1 situation, Digia felt very reluctant. You should know that the current situation is the physical body of Digia and the will of Dagu. Dagu is fighting in this form for the first time. On the earth, Digia had to deal with the monster in front of him, while Melba seized the opportunity to release rays in the sky, successfully interfering with Digia's attack and assisting Gorzon's actions. At this moment, suddenly, dark towers appeared one after another around. These dark towers, with a flowing dark aura, are uncomfortable. The sudden appearance of these towers caught the careful attention of Lina for the first time, and she couldn't help but exclaim, "What's going on? Why are these black towers suddenly appearing?" The prophecy only indicates the presence of golden towers. What's going on with these black towers? With Lina's words, the other team members also noticed the sudden appearance of the dark tower in the forest. What wasn't there just now? They are very convinced of this. Gorzon and Melba couldn't help but hesitate due to the sudden appearance of the dark tower. As subordinate monsters of evil gods, they are certainly familiar with the power of darkness. The dark forces hidden in these towers are familiar to them all. And the richness of the dark power in these towers seems to be still above their evil god, Gatanjal. How could this be possible? Gorzon, Melba, it's really hard to believe this, think it's an illusion, right? Now. Shwa. One dark tower after another suddenly rose from the ground and gathered together. The power of darkness is gathering. The terrifying aura enveloped the entire forest. Lina, Zhongfang, and others present all struggled to swallow their saliva. Gradually, the largest number of dark towers condensed into a single figure. This figure is majestic and imposing. It waved its arms. Suddenly, the power of darkness formed a strong wind, heading towards Digia, Gorzon, and Melba. This is Digia immediately jumped away, feeling that the sudden appearance was much more powerful than Melba and Gorzon. Gorzon and Melba's pupils couldn't help but widen. As prehistoric monsters, they are well aware of the power of Gatanjal. But in terms of grandeur and strength, Gorzon and Melba felt that the mysterious existence that suddenly appeared did not seem to be beneath Gatanjal. Finally, that figure gradually solidified. At the same time, the dark aura emanating from the body gives off a very uncomfortable feeling. Digia, Gorzon, and Melba, they all stopped fighting at this moment and stared solemnly at the gradually solidified body. At this moment, Qiushan Liao, who has become the true god of the digital world, has transformed from tangible to intangible. Ding, congratulations on choosing the beginner gift pack as the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex, the first appearance of a digital Tyrannosaurus. The host has the power to control its actions. Host can also obtain skills from digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. Autumn Mountain Liao nodded. He understood what this meant. The Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex, born for the first time, is not yet familiar with its power and skills. At this moment, Mountain Liao is needed to operate the mech, like a puppet, to manipulate the body of the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex. Afterwards, the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex can fight on its own. That is to improve the proficiency of the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex in Mountain Liao. He, covered in dark armor, had already appeared in front of Digia and others. Dark aura, with the sound of Mountains and Liao, this is a sound that can only be heard by the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex. With his voice, Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex follows instructions. Boom! A dark aura surged out. Suddenly, people all over the world felt difficulty breathing. Chapter 5. Gaia Energy Cannon. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. Chapter 5 Gaia Energy Cannon. Congratulations on obtaining 10,000 shock points from Lena. Congratulations on obtaining 10,000 shock points from Digia. Congratulations on obtaining 10,000 shock points from Golzen. Shock point transformed into digital soul. The soul of digital has many functions, one of which is to make digital Tyrannosaurus Rex huge. At this moment, Qiushan Liao, who had become an invisible existence, did so. With a flick of his arm, the digital soul injected into the body of the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex. For a moment, the body of the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex also grew huge, and its height was comparable to that of Digia. A new giant has appeared. Watching this scene, New City's eyes were almost wide open. What's going on? He looks different from Digia and monsters, like a combination of the two. Digia looks like a hero, while Golzen and Melba clearly look like monsters. However, the sudden appearance of this giant makes people feel like they are both heroes and monsters. The deputy captain of the sect feels a bit of a headache in his head. The other team members were also very depressed. There was no sign of the appearance of the dark giant in front of them. There is no mention of prophecy or anything else. The only thing worth mentioning is the sudden appearance of this dark giant, who also looks unique and very cold. Now Golzen and Melba are two monsters, but they also look bewildered. They haven't seen this guy in 30 million years. In terms of his appearance and strength, if this existence had existed in the Ultras or monsters 30 million years ago, they should have had an impression. What's going on with the guy in front of me? Ding, congratulations on obtaining 10,000 points of 1 millibar, ding, congratulations on obtaining 10,000 shocking points of Golzen. Shock point transformed into digital soul. Mountain Liao, who had transformed into an invisible existence, knew that he now had enough strength to survive in this world. The power of the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex, placed within the Ultraman Digia, is also an absolutely powerful presence. Now, he began to check the personal panel. Host. Qiushan Liao, control power. Digital world, light of evolution, soul of digital, Guangming subordinate. None, dark subordinate. Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex, unlocked building. Dark sea. In the vast white digital world, a dark sea can be seen in the current Mountains and Liao. It seems to be isolated from the digital world. Due to the emergence of digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, Akiyama Liao can unlock some related buildings. Golzen, Melba glanced at each other. In their eyes, the Digia in front of them is a bit unorthodox, different from the terrifying Digia from 30 million years ago. The Digia in front of them is not a match for their evil god Gatanjal. But the sudden appearance of the black giant in front of me may not be true. Thinking of this, Golzen and Melba simultaneously looked at the Dark Combat Tyrannosaurus Rex. Ultrasound light. Golzen gathered his power once again on his forehead, forming a destructive purple light. The light has not yet been emitted, and the space around Golzen seems to be quite heavy. Seeing this, both Lena and Digia knew that this time Golzen's ultrasound light was even more terrifying than just now. Digia asked himself, this time, Golzen's ultrasonic light, I dare not fight hard and can only choose to dodge. Melbonic light. At the same time, the orange power also surged in Melba's eyes. Finally. The light skills of the two monsters are aimed directly at the dark battle Tyrannosaurus. The light from the two monsters has now gathered together, forming a more powerful light skill. Time and space vibration. Upon seeing this, Digia couldn't help but take a step back, even if the light was not targeting him. In the eyes of Dagu among Digia, this dark giant is going to lose. If the dark giant doesn't want to dodge, then it will be hit by this light, immortal, and will also take off a layer of skin. At least in Digia's view, if he is hit, it may also depend on running out of energy and the timer flashing ahead of time. Boom. What? But the next moment, whether it was Digia or Lena, they were stunned again. The light that shattered everything was blocked by a black shield. This is the shield of dark courage. Under the command of Ultraman Liao, the dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex took down the brave shield from its back and protected itself. Dark Gaia Energy Cannon. At this moment, Ultraman Liao gave a faint command again. The dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex immediately raised its hands and concentrated its negative energy, forming a huge energy ball. The terrifying dark power looked so terrifying. Golzan, Melba glanced at each other and wanted to run. In both eyes, a sense of fear has emerged. But knowing that the other party wouldn't let me just run away like this. Ultrasound light. Melbonic light. Both used their skills again. The light collided with the Gaia energy cannon for a moment. Slightly silent. Afterwards. Boom. Rolling waves of air are moving towards the surroundings. The outcome has been decided. Chapter 6. What is Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex Seeking Collection? You are listening at novelfull.audio. What is Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex in Chapter 6? A loud roar. Slowly, everything finally calmed down. The dust and smoke gradually dissipated. But watching the dark battle, the Tyrannosaurus Rex stood quietly with a very calm expression on its face. And in front of the dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex, Golzan and Melba were originally standing as before, but the next moment, with a loud bang, Golzan and Melba completely turned into powder. Disappearing completely. Now whether it's Digia or Lena, they are all stunned, especially the human Lena, Zhongfang, and others can't help but take a long breath. What exactly happened today? The monster suddenly appeared, and the giant also appeared, but did not expect an even more terrifying existence. This is a terrifying creature beyond prophecy. Why did it suddenly appear? And with a completely overwhelming force, they destroyed Golzan and Melba. How can people believe this kind of thing? At this moment, a pair of eyes, as if seeing a monster, were fixed on the huge black giant in front of them, which was the dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex. No matter who it is evident that the dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex still has many trumps to play. The giant revived from the pyramid did not fight against the dark battle of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, but what would happen if the battle really started? Zhongfang, Lena, and others have already speculated that it may be the giant in this pyramid, not a match for the black giant at all. Ding, congratulations on obtaining 10,000 shock points in the new city. Ding, congratulations on obtaining Lena 10,000 shock points. At this moment, the dark battle dragon beast snorted, and the trees around him were blown down by a black gust of wind. His movements were as powerful as flowing clouds and water. Now the dark combat Tyrannosaurus glanced at Digia and the victorious team members, and a calm and domineering voice fell in their ears. Remember that this world belongs to the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. His words stunned Dagu of Digia, and the faces of Lena, Zhongfang, and others were extremely colorful and complex. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. What exactly is this? What exactly is the truth about this world? Dagu, one of the Digas, also frowned. Is digital Tyrannosaurus Rex also a super-era existence? Do you Lien know about digital Tyrannosaurus Rex? At this moment, the dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex disappears and enters the digital world. The most suitable place in the digital world for dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex is the Sea of Darkness, where the sea is gray and the water is also black, and the air is filled with coldness. At this moment, Qiushan Liao has also transformed from an intangible state to a tangible one, still looking like an ordinary person. But he could sense that he could fully unleash the skills of the dark combat Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, Lina, Zhongfang and others stood still, looking at each other, finally regaining their senses. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. Is it a name for a force? Undoubtedly, there was no digital Tyrannosaurus in this era, otherwise how could we not have heard of it? So, digital Tyrannosaurus must be a super ancient creature. Lina, Zhongfang and others began to discuss. Horai frowned and said, Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. But the word digital is very modern. Is it really super ancient? Upon hearing this, Lina said, a super ancient civilization may not be worse than us. Look at the time machine that brings prophecies, we modern people can't even do it, can we? Upon hearing this, I feel that there is some truth to it. Monsters. Giant. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. The world is becoming more and more complex, unfortunately, Dagu and Mr. Liao. Zhongfang couldn't continue at this point, and their sacrifice was regrettable. Wait, look. Horai suddenly pointed to the side of the stream where a person wearing the uniform of the victory team was waving at them with a helmet in his hand. It's Dagu. Lina and others immediately went over, looked up and down at Dagu, and found that Dagu was not in a good mood. They breathed a sigh of relief. Zhongfang thought of something and said with a bad expression, we're all fine, but Mr. Liao has an accident. We didn't protect Mr. Liao well. How can we face criticism from the whole world? Dagu's face didn't look good either. He thinks it's his responsibility. Mr. Liao, he is an indispensable figure in the development of the world, has he died like this? I'm here. At this moment, another person emerged from the mountains and forests, not Autumn Mountain and Liao, but who was it? Mr. Liao. Great, you're okay. Dagu and others ran over excitedly, feeling relieved that Mr. Liao was able to live, which was really great. Otherwise, their country will be criticized by other countries. But what exactly is going on? Zhongfang suddenly wondered and said. There was a pit where Gorzin stepped on, and I fell down, so I didn't get stepped on, Dagu quickly explained. Autumn Mountain Liao smiled and said, I have already analyzed the concave and convex surface of Gorzin's soul, so I found a gap and didn't get trampled to death. Upon hearing this sentence, Horai was shocked. Can such things be calculated in a short period of time? He is truly a genius. Zhongfang nodded. Mr. Liao and Dagu are fine, that's really good. But when he thought of giants, monsters, and digital tyrannosaurs, he knew he would have to write many reports when he went back. Upon reflection, Zhongfang felt that he might become bald in the future, and now he could only say, all right, let's go back. On the way back, Dagu's expression was somewhat complicated. Seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking collection, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets. Big shots, must see. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Every day at 6 o'clock. Ensure passion, excitement, and excitement. Add 1 change for every 1,000 flowers, add 1 change for every 100 evaluation votes, reward every 3 people, and add 1 watch, add 1 change every 3 monthly tickets. The support of my readers and grandfathers is the driving force behind my coding. I need to work on data. Damn it. Seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets, seeking flowers, seeking evaluation tickets. Which big shot still has flowers and evaluation tickets now? More is better, please ask for flowers and evaluation tickets. Chapter 7. Noah's Gaze, Seeking Flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This translator is experiencing an error, please try another translator. Chapter 8. Kingdom of Light, Not Enough Flowers, Seeking Flowers. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. The Kingdom of Light. The Kingdom of Light. This is a very special place in the universe. It is the hometown of Ultraman, on a planet called Ultraman star within the M78 nebula. The territory of the Kingdom of Light covers the entire planet of Ultraman, surrounded by radioactive light from the artificial Ultraman sundae. The residents here are all Ultramen, with an average height of 40 meters. Here, one organization has to be mentioned, and that is the Ultra Space Guard. This is a defense organization that guards the peace of the universe, with Otto's father as the first captain, and of course, the current captain is Sophie. Sophie is currently practicing alone, and among the 6 brothers of the Ultras, he is not the strongest. He knows he must become stronger in order to succeed. The next moment. Boom. Surrounded by radiance. Sophie found his will pulled into a sacred space. In front of him is a great will, which is a huge image of Noah. Sophie's will seemed like an ant in front of Noah's will. Noah, there is almost only silver in his body, and the only visible red part is the same energy core as the traditional Ultraman. The whole body was shining with white light, appearing so sacred. It's Noah Ultraman. Sophie's tone was filled with solemnity. The legendary Ultraman came to find himself. Ask Sophie immediately, what exactly happened. The universe has also experienced many things, big and small. Monsters emerge endlessly. But there are too few things that can bring Noah Ultraman down. This is also the first time Sophie has seen Noah. If it weren't for Otto's father recuperating in seclusion, Noah's will wouldn't have found him. Father of Otto, the damage left by the former Dark Emperor has not been fully restored. Called Father of Ultrat, faced monsters several times and couldn't perform to the level that Father of Ultrat should have. In another universe, there is an ancient Ultraman who has revived. He was one of the famous sources of destruction 30 million years ago, and he is Digia. Upon hearing these words, Sophie couldn't help but be taken aback and said, "Is that him?" In the database of the Space Intelligence Agency of the Kingdom of Light, there are naturally many resources hidden. The power of the Kingdom of Light cannot be underestimated. Digia. The former dark giant. At a critical moment, I reformed and eliminated all darkness. Then, he fell into a deep sleep. But in Sophie's view, the revival of this Digia is not a big deal unless the revived Digia is the Dark Digia, some of the terrifying dark forces from 30 million years ago. But upon careful consideration, it's impossible. The database shows that the real Digia is divided into some genes, atoms, and other entities. Perhaps those with the gene of light can inherit Digia, but it is only a part of inheriting Digia. At the next moment, Noah's voice continued to ring. Digia had just recovered and was completely intimidated by another existence, completely afraid to move. What? Sophie's body trembled at this moment. Now Sophie has only one thought in his heart, which is impossible. Even if only a part of the power of Digia is revived, it is still a good existence in Ultraman. In the Otto brothers, such power is also enough to intimidate people's hearts. How could it be intimidated by other entities? What is intimidating Digia? Monsters? Or something else? Is Digia's universe so dangerous? Did Digia encounter such an existence just as he was recovering? Is this a direct start to the boss? Noah Ultraman, please tell me everything. Sophie bowed heavily. Noah's will, but his voice also solemnly said, that force, also known as that force, has appeared very unusual. It is completely different from our power, and even from the power of monsters. The difference in origin makes me not understand what that force, that power, is really about. I heard some voices. They are the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex that descended, full of dark power. What do you think of this mysterious digital Tyrannosaurus power compared to mine? Sophie's heart was heavy and curious, and finally couldn't help but ask. Above you, Noah said. Perhaps other Ultramen would be wary of Sophie's background, but Noah wouldn't. He is telling the truth. Noah feels that the mysterious digital Tyrannosaurus Rex can actually take it to the next level. Its potential is not yet fully realized. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. What exactly is it? Where exactly did it come from? Sophie's bright eyes couldn't help but freeze. Better than him. Meanwhile, the 4 words, Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, were imprinted in Sophie's heart. I feel that the dark digital Tyrannosaurus may not be the strongest existence among them. Noah's will slowly said, this matter must be thoroughly investigated. My will cannot enter that universe, but it is possible for the technology of your kingdom of light to do so. Sophie nodded. Capture the ripples of the appearance of digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, then ask Hikari to analyze the ripples, know the coordinates of the opponent's universe, use the power of the kingdom of light, and enter. It seems possible to do it. But the mysterious existence of the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex has made Noah's will appear. This is not a small matter. This so-called digital Tyrannosaurus Rex should not be underestimated. There are too few flowers, please ask for flowers. Which big shot is willing to give this book flowers? Chapter 9. Sophie's different thoughts, seeking data. You are listening at novelfull.audio. This is the conference room of the Space Guard of the Kingdom of Light. Now Sophie is standing here, his expression is somewhat solemn, and there is nothing he can do. The news transmitted by Noah Ultraman's will is really difficult for him to accept. Sophie believed that he knew everything about the information in the Space Intelligence Agency, the Ultraman, and the monsters in the universe, but he never expected a mysterious existence like the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. Where did such a force come from? The revived Digia Ultraman was intimidated by the opponent's momentum before he could fight against them. Even if this is not the full power of Digia Ultraman, it is still astonishing enough. In Sophie Ultraman's view, Digia Ultraman's potential is actually very great. Digia has revived, and as long as there is an opportunity, it will eventually return to the state and strength of its former heyday. At that time, in the Kingdom of Light, the father of Otto may also be somewhat overshadowed. That is to say, Digia Ultraman should have an unyielding arrogance in his bones, but he was suppressed by the aura of the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex and dared not fight. What kind of ability does the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex possess? Will the power of the digital Tyrannosaurus have an impact on his plans? Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex repeated these 4 confusing words as Sophie's palm slammed against the huge conference table. The King of Ultraman once said that after the revival of Digia Ultraman, Ultraman's history will usher in a new chapter. At that time, a new generation of Ultraman will emerge who is superior to the blue and surpasses the blue. At that time, the power of the Kingdom of Light will also reach its peak. But now in Sophie's view, the opponents that the Kingdom of Light will face seem to be even stronger and stronger. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, are they extraterrestrial monsters? Or is it an inherent existence on Earth? Or it may have been born from unknown places. Now Sophie Ultraman has gone to call the other Ultraman brothers, and the first one to arrive is the first Ultraman. The other Ultraman brothers seem to have something else to do. Now Sophie can only tell the story to the first generation first. Sophie, are you telling the truth? Perhaps the news was too hard to accept, and the first generation Ultraman couldn't help but question Sophie. Did he say something foolish? What I said is true, I guarantee it with my personality. Sophie Ultraman knew that his behavior had been suspicious many times, but his voice was solemn and solemn, promising that he would never talk nonsense about Noah Ultraman. Okay, I understand. Upon hearing this, the first generation couldn't help but remain silent. He loves the Earth. He loves the Earth of any universe. Today's first generation still remembers the scene when they first went to Earth. He is the giant of light from the M78 nebula, who came to Earth to hunt down the fleeing cosmic monster Bimula. When chasing Bimula over Lake Longsen, he accidentally collided with the fighter plane carried by member of the scientific special search team, Hayata Jean, causing Hayata to crash and die. In order to make up for his mistakes and save Hayata's life, Ultraman gave his own life to Hayata and worked together to revive him. Afterwards, Ultraman and Hayata engaged in fierce battles against numerous ferocious monsters and evil cosmologists to defend the Earth. I didn't expect such a thing as a digital Tyrannosaurus Rex to exist. Noah's will only saw a digital Tyrannosaurus Rex. I think that should be the strongest among digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, right? Just where did this digital Tyrannosaurus Rex come from? Such an organization was hidden in the universe a long time ago, but we haven't made any discoveries. Rao was the first Ultraman, who had experienced countless battles, and now he cannot help but feel heavy-hearted. If hidden for a long time and only surfaced now, does such a force feel like it has the power to face everything? I don't know either. Sophie shook her head. So, Sophie, what do you think we should do now? Anyway, Sophie is also considered a big brother, and the first generation must give him face. First investigate the news about the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, and don't be enemies with it. After all, the other party has not shown any evil ambition yet. We don't know what their intentions are, and it's difficult to determine whether they are friends or enemies in the current situation. After some consideration, Sophie said. Upon hearing this, the first Ultraman nodded, feeling that there was some truth. But he still said, do you want to tell Father Otto about this matter? Sophie shook his head and had another plan, then said, currently, the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex is not strong enough to make our land of light so cautious. The first generation nodded. They just don't know. Digital Tyrannosaurus Rex will bring a huge storm to all universes. The Dark Emperor, Beria, the ultimate life form, and even the careful Emperor, compared to the digital Tyrannosaurus Rex, are all inferior in the end. Seeking flowers, collecting, evaluating tickets, important things, I'm here to say 3 times, seeking flowers, seeking collections, seeking evaluation tickets, important things, I have said 3 times here. Seeking flowers, collecting, evaluating tickets, important things, I have said 3 times here.